Hey there guys, what is up? Evo back here with another video. Now today I am actually doing a video on a couple of things. So on, I believe it was Monday, we kind of picked on MCU and Deadpool versus Wolverine and was talking about will Deadpool and Wolverine save the MCU despite it being how it is. And we came to the conclusion of no, it will not. Well, now we're actually going to see if DC movies are going to line up and save the DC universe from movies. Now, I know that DC did get a major player recently, James Gunn. James Gunn's an absolute god, in my opinion. The absolute GOAT. I mean, you get the Guardians of the Galaxies. James Gunn really delivered on all of his movies. I mean, including Suicide Squad 2, which I do believe was James Gunn as well. But I wanted to pick a little bit on DC here because I know that if you're a Marvel fan, you probably didn't like that I was picking on your favorite one. And I tend to not pick sides. I do lean a little bit more into the DC universe than the Marvel universe, but I like both. So let's hop in. So first up, I wanted to basically just say that a lot of the previous DC movies, such as Henry Cavill's Superman, is in a different universe. It takes place in a different universe from this current universe we are getting of DC, which I like to call the DC mainverse. Basically, it's going to be the James Gunn verse. All of the James Gunn titles are in this and not in like an Elseworlds version. So we are getting a Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow movie coming out. I think that could do pretty good. As long as they stick to some of the comic versions of Supergirl, I think this is going to go very, very well. I've also heard a couple of little, like, secret things about this movie, such as we might get the Super Dog as well. And I would absolutely love to see that. I think DC definitely has a very strong comic book culture, and sticking to a comic book lineup could do very, very well, which I would love to see. Next up, we have Joker Folie à Deux, and this is the second Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. It's got, quite a bit there already. Hearing that there's another Joker movie is huge. Now, this is actually not taking place in the new universe. This is an Elseworlds title, meaning it's going to be on a different universe. So this is not our main Joker. We are not getting Joaquin Phoenix as the main Joker in a Batman universe. Which I don't actually mind. I love Joaquin Phoenix for his Joker movies, but I do not think he would be a great villain to Batman. Heath Ledger, for instance, brought a villain to Batman more so than a Joker character. And I think he did a great job with the Joker. I think everybody will agree Heath Ledger's on top, with Joaquin Phoenix being a very close second. Now, the reason I don't think Joaquin Phoenix could carry a villain role very well is because he is very much a lead character. You see it time and time again, he's very good at being a lead, and I think if he was a villain, like the main villain in a Batman movie, he would take over as the lead, and I don't know if it would go so well. But that's just me. I could be completely wrong there. But I do think this movie's going to do pretty well. It's kind of a musical version. And this is going to take place as after Joker 1. It's going to be with Harley Quinn as well, played by Lady Gaga. And I do think this is going to do a very big number in the box office, definitely. And I do think for an Elseworlds title, it's going to hold very, very nicely. If they decide to make the Joker movies a trilogy, I think it will do very well. It would be kind of cool to see them introduce Batman and see the Joker's perspective of what he's doing to Batman. And I don't know. I think it would be a really, really cool thing. Next up, we have Paradise Lost, which I don't know much about. Apparently it came out in 2020, but they're apparently doing some new stuff with it. Don't know what that's about, but that could be kind of cool. Now we got the Batman, the Brave and the Bold. So this is a reported James Gunn reboot of Batman. And it's going to have Batman's kid as Robin. Now, how do I feel about this? I think Brave and the Bold could do some really cool stuff, definitely. I'm curious who's going to be cast as Batman. As I think we all are. Basically, for Batman castings, for me, I think they've done pretty okay. There were a couple I didn't like so much. I don't like a lot of the older Batman movies. I know a lot of you guys who are like, really into those old movies are gonna hate me, but there are just so many bad jokes, like the shark repellent, all of that. I did not enjoy it. But stuff like Christian Bale's Batman, absolute amazing. I even liked Christian. I say Christian Bale. I even liked Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought it was fine. Batman vs Superman was a little bit of a weird movie, but like overall, I think the Batsuit in that was pretty cool. And I loved the car, that Batman vs Superman car was really really cool. Um, Christian Bale still takes the top spot for Batman's. Very close second though would be Robert Patterson. I loved the Batman. I thought it was easily in the top 10 Batman movies of all time, even top 5 I would put it. I'd put in number 4 probably, very closely behind Christian Bale's. Um, but I don't know, seeing Robin again in a Batman movie could be really cool, especially if they delve into more of a Nightwing side. I would absolutely love to see that. But we'll see where they end up going with the Brave and the Bold. I have very, very high hopes that James Gunn can deliver on this very hard. Next up, we are actually getting a Creature Commandos. Now, let me go ahead and pull up something right here. So this is a very just kind of, yeah, this is kind of an interesting one. So the Creature Commandos will be an animated series that James Gunn is kind of using to launch a new Suicide Squad, is what I'm reading right here. This could be interesting, kind of launching a Suicide Squad in his universe. And he's gonna make, the Margot Robbie Suicide Squad in an Elseworlds universe. I would be okay with seeing that happen. I do think that they could do kind of a classic Suicide Squad, which would be really cool. And yeah, I think that could be really, really cool. So next up, we have a TV show coming to DC. I'm so excited because if you don't know, DC delivers on all of their TV shows, or 99%. I'm going to be honest, Batgirl was not my favorite show. But 99% of their TV shows are really, really good. Now, Swamp Thing is a movie and a TV show. So get ready. We're starting off big here with Swamp Thing. If you are a Swamp Thing fan, you're in for an absolute delight. We have Swamp Thing, a TV show in development, and a movie has been said around places. It's still very obscure if we are actually getting a movie, but they definitely have confirmed there is a TV show in the works. Now, I believe Idris Elba is playing the Swamp Thing monster. Absolutely awesome. I have zero doubt that Idris Elba will absolutely deliver on this. I think it is going to be a great movie, and I cannot wait to see it. Next up, apparently, Booster Gold is getting a series of his own. Now, Booster Gold, I actually have a ton of comics of Booster Gold that I just didn't even know was DC until probably about 2 years ago when I actually started reading them. Now, Booster Gold's a character that I actually don't mind. I think him getting whether it's a series or a movie, could be really cool. And James Gunn will definitely make really good on Booster Gold, especially being that Booster Gold's kind of more of a, cosmic character. I think it would be really, really cool. Now, we do have, this is probably the movie most of you guys have heard of. It is Superman. Now, this is the saddest news for a lot of people, that Henry Cavill will not be reprising his role in this. Now, I'm not sure who's going to be playing this Superman. I believe it is, I don't know. I remember it was a British actor, but I don't remember who. David something. But anyway, yeah. Henry Cavill is not coming back. We are getting a new actor named David, and he is the DC Universe Superman. And I actually think this could be really, really good. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved Henry Cavill in the role, but I think separating yourself from the old DC as far as you can is very good. The reason is because old DC movies, I'm gonna be honest, they had no canon whatsoever. I mean, you had Christian Bale's Batman, which was so on point. You had Henry Cavill's Man of Steel, and they never got a collab. It went over to Ben Affleck, and it was like, well, and we didn't even get a standalone Ben Affleck Batman. So it was like, why the hell? What is going on? But anyway, this Superman movie could actually make very good on a full, DC universe. I'm hoping they make it a lot like MCU where they all interweave and stuff. I think that would be really cool. Maybe don't do as many movies as MCU, please, because I am currently hating MCU for how many movies they release in 1 year. All right, next up we have The Authority. Now, we cannot really say much of anything with The Authority. I've not heard anything about it. There are talks of there being an Authority movie coming out. And apparently it's going to bring a bunch of characters that we've never seen in a movie form into the movie spotlight, which will be really cool. I think this could be a very welcome change that DC fans will really, really like. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to see what that has to bring. There's not too much news on it. We're getting a new Lanterns, looks to be live action DC series. Now, I do think Green Lantern as a series will work much better as than a Green Lantern movie. And the reason for that is Green Lantern's lore is so vast. I mean, you have every different race, you have every different color of lantern. You have different, like, squadrons of lantern light and stuff. I don't know too much about Green Lantern personally, but I know there is a lot of lore with Green Lantern, and it's very, very big and vast. I think this could be absolutely amazing. I'm very excited to see who they get to play Green Lantern, but we'll definitely see. Now, next up is Peacemaker Season 2. Peacemaker Season 1 was absolutely awesome, and I have no doubt that Season 2 is just going to be absolutely insane. And yeah, I know that James Gunn's going to deliver, especially on Peacemaker 2. It's going to be absolutely insane. Now, it looks like we are getting a Teen Titans project. I don't know much about that, but we are getting a Teen Titans project, it looks like. I don't mind that at all. The Batman Part 2. Now, of course, we are getting the Batman Part 2. The Batman Part 1 was so amazing, and it left us with the Joker at the end, or what I believe to be the Joker. And honestly, I think this might have been the most successful Batman project, including Justice League, including all these movies, that we've seen since the Dark Knight trilogy. And the Batman 2 is going to deliver on everything. I loved Robert Pattinson's role. I think the grittiness of the original Batman, the Batman, whatever you want to call it, was so good. It gives kind of this Arkham game feel. If you've ever played the Batman Arkham games, it gives such a feel into those games, and I loved it. I didn't think for 1 second Robert Pattinson could play that role, and then he played it beautifully, and I was so happy. Next up, we've got Constantine 2. Now, Constantine, there's already a Constantine 1. I'm kind of interested that they are continuing from that. And I'm very excited because John Constantine is one of the coolest characters in DC Comics. He's kind of like this, like, spell witch doctor guy. Really, really cool. And he fights demons and shit. It's just perfect. It's going to be so cool, so fun. I'm excited. Now, apparently, there are also talks of us getting a Flash movie again. Now, I have no idea what this is, but it says that there might be an upcoming Flash project. Could be a movie, could be a TV show, coming shortly. I can't imagine it's a TV show, but a movie, I could totally see them doing another movie. Maybe not with Ezra Miller. I personally hate Ezra Miller as the Flash. I think it's god-awful casting, but we'll definitely see. Now we've got Aquaman, and apparently there's a third Aquaman in the works here. And they are saying that the ending of Aquaman 3 is separate. So Aquaman, we are not getting the same Aquaman. Now, they have said that Jason Momoa might still be reprising his role. So that will be really interesting to see how they kind of play it off. Maybe at the end of Aquaman 3, he kind of finds like a portal to a new world or something. I don't know. Gonna be kind of cool to see. Um, and then Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. Yeah, we are getting a Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths movie coming out, and I don't know when. It says that they are set to release pretty soon. Um, 2024 and beyond. We're in 2024, so could be this year, I guess. But I would assume it's gonna be like 2025 or 2026. But basically, we are getting a full new Justice League movie. I am so excited about that. Um, and yeah, I've got not a ton to say about that one. I'm more so just waiting to see. I would love to see an Amanda Waller movie as well because Amanda Waller's so important in the DC universe. It's insane. I know we're getting a Watchmen movie. I'm pretty excited about that. Um, and yeah, we need a couple very heavy hitters in DC. Now, in my opinion, to even keep up with MCU at this point, I mean, MCU has so much money and DC has a ton as well. But DC really needs to get their shit together. Um, the one thing about the MCU that I didn't do in my MCU video was going over the future projects. I went over a couple. They're doing a bunch of new series, which I hate the idea of. The one thing I am pretty excited that the MCU is doing is Daredevil Reborn. Now, I don't know how that's going to be. I don't know how they're going to play into it. They're talking about maybe doing a Daredevil movie. I've heard a couple talks about that, but I don't know. Now, where DC needs to hit MCU if they want to win this battle is some very heavy-hitting movies before they start making series. I think making movies before series is going to be your very big strong suit, and making series that interweave with the movies is going to have to happen as well. Can James Gunn accomplish all of this? I don't know. I'm not doubting him, but there's just a lot he has to do. I mean, when you go to the MCU, right, it didn't have any reputation. It was a fresh slate. And it had a great reputation right from the start when they made Iron Man. Great movie. Then they made, like, I don't remember. I think it was Iron Man 2 next or something, or Captain America or Hulk. And then it went up and up and up and up and up. And MCU only started to dip very recently after the Infinity Saga, which is, like, 20-something movies now, but still, they're pretty damn strong. Like, they still hit the millions in box office very quickly. And DC, though, the difference is DC starting on a low. So having James Gunn, he's going to have to pull so much weight because of all the shit DC has done in the past to drop us that low. I mean, they made shit movies for so long that we are at such a low right now in DC that we need James Gunn to pull basically all of the weight to get us back to the top, or get us very close to the top. I even think now their only chance of beating MCU is MCU releasing some shit movies coming up. Excuse me, guys. I just don't see that happening, quite frankly. I mean, Secret Wars is coming out, and we've got, if Avengers Kang Dynasty actually ever comes out, we've got that. We also have Doomsday coming out. I don't see DC taking over. I'm sorry. I know that we all want DC to kind of like have this huge reawakening and be the best freaking movies ever and get people excited about the comics, get people all this. I don't see that happening, and it's unfortunate because there's so much that they could do, and I don't know how they're going to do it. I personally like the darker, grittier side of DC. I don't really like a lot of the lightheartedness that comes in a DC form. And so I think they need to focus on their strong suits, the dark, gritty nature of their movies. But I guess we'll see where this goes. Anyways, guys, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out and have a great rest of everyone's day. Bye, guys.